it's quite late already. 原來都好夜啦已經。I came home by bus today. 我今日咧搭到巴士啦。And so it's the first time here in the city. 咁我第一次喺呢一個城市我搭巴士啦咁。And it's actually rather convenient. 咁係超方便嘅。So I took the bus from nearby the school. 咁喺學校附近上車啦。And then all the way to the shopping mall that is near to my place here. 咁就一路搭到去我附近個商場啦。Then I went grocery shopping. 跟住去超市買餸啦。And then I walk home. 跟住我就行路翻嚟啦咁樣。So I got like fish 咁我買咗魚啦because I have been craving for a good fish soup for a long time 咁因為我一路咧好想飲魚湯啦最近 so I bought fish and then I made fish soup tonight 咁所以我就買咗魚啦跟住我煲咗魚湯超開心好好飲 It was so delicious 係超好飲 and it was just a little bit it's kind of a bummer 有少少唔係幾方便嘅咧 is that like they only have a very small pot in this Airbnb 咁因為呢間屋咧得個好細嘅煲啫咁樣 so I just don't feel that I had enough 我覺得我飲唔夠喉好唔夠喉咯咁 so I'm going to make it again tomorrow 咁我聽日會再煮啦 because like in one pack they have two fish 咁因為一包佢有2條魚嘅咁 it's so cheap as well 又超平啦咁 so I'm just like really happy 咁啊超開心 and yeah so let's read 咁我哋咧正式開始讀書啦Oh yeah, and happy winter solstice. 咁同埋大家冬至快樂。Read to resist, day 222. 當閱讀也是抗爭，第222日。A Concise History of Hong Kong by John Mark Carroll. 香港簡史，從殖民地至特別行政區，著者高馬可，譯者林立偉。Managing the Chinese.Although much of the colonial government's legal apparatus was dedicated to controlling the Chinese community, the government made little effort to understand East Chinese subjects, their society, or their customs. Whereas in India, learning local languages and cultures was considered essential for controlling British jewel in the crown, most British officials in China and Hong Kong did not share this concern. There were, of course, exceptions. Before coming to Hong Kong as governor,Davis had been one of the few East India Company officials to study Chinese. Thomas Wade, a linguist and diplomat who served in Hong Kong as Assistant Chinese Secretary to the Superintendent of Trade, later became Professor of Chinese at the University of Hong Kong as Later became Professor of Chinese at the University of Cambridge.Samuel Fearon, the colony's first Registrar General, became Professor of Chinese at King's College, London. But such people were rare in early Hong Kong. Shortly after his arrival in Hong Kong in 1859, some 20 years after the British first occupied the island, Governor Hercules Robinson complained that not a single senior colonial officer in his new administration could read or write Chinese.治理華人，雖然殖民地政府的法律機構大都致力於控制華人，但政府很少花功夫去了解他的華人子民、他們的社會或他們的風俗。相較之下，印度的英國官員認為要管治這個英國皇冠上的寶石，必須學習當地語言和文化。但大多數在中國和香港的英國官員卻不是這樣想。當然，例外的情況總是有的。戴維斯來港出任總督前，是少數曾習中文的東印度公司職員、語言學家和外交家。威妥瑪 Thomas Wade 曾在香港擔任英國駐華商務監督的漢文副使，後來成為劍橋大學中文教授。殖民地首名總登記官費倫 Samuel Fearon 成為倫敦大學國王學院中文教授。但在開埠初期的香港，這樣的人是鳳毛麟角。在英國佔領香港20多年後的1859年，來港不久的總督羅便臣 Hercules Robinson 就抱怨，其新政府中的高級官員沒有一個能讀或能寫中文。 So this is the end of today's reading。咁我哋今日就讀住咁多先啦。其實 a little bit late for me， 咁因為咧已經有啲夜啦。But it's interesting that it talks about language here。咁但係咧好有趣啦，佢就講到咧語言呢樣嘢啦。Since I've been traveling and staying in different countries and almost every single country that I have been in this past year and a half did not speak English at all。咁我過去呢年幾我去嘅地方全部都唔係講英文嘅，and so like I'm being kind of like an expert in learning a foreign language now 咁我突然間咧好似成為咗咧學外語嘅專家咁樣But one thing is like when I decided to stay in a place for a longer period of time， 咁當我決定要喺個地方留得耐啲咧 I really want to learn the language， 我就好想學當地嘅語言啦咁。Even when I was traveling to Brazil like some 10 years ago， 即使10年前我去巴西開會嘅時候咧 it was not really quite a long trip. I think it's probably just a couple of months。 可能去咗2個月定3個月，都冇3個月，可能2個零月啦咁樣樣。And I still learned a little bit of Portuguese before I went on the trip。 咁我都有學咗少少葡文。And during the trip like I picked up more。 跟住喺巴西嘅時候其實都再學多咗少少咁。And kind of survival like mainly food of course。 咁當然都係啲非常之重要嘅求生嘅葡萄牙文啦，就係關於食物嘅嘢啦。咁 so I became such an expert in ordering food for my friends while we were having like during the conference。 咁開會嘅時候我其實成為咗呢個點菜專家啦，可能同埋我啲朋友一齊去開會嘅，咁我就專門就係負責喺餐廳就係叫嘢食啦咁樣樣。So yeah, and I'm just surprised like when you're learning in the environment， 咁一有語境度學語言係真係快好多 ，it's so effective， 係進步係神速嘅咁。You have to understand, I really have zero Spanish before I came here in Colombia。 你要知道咧，我嚟哥倫比亞之前咧，我係零西班牙文。I have never learned it officially， 我從來冇正式學過啦。So just before I came, maybe I started using a mobile app to learn it on my mobile phone for a couple of months or like maybe something like a couple of months。 咁可能係嚟之前2個月到，我喺美國嗰陣我就有用 app 啦，喺個 app 度學咁樣啦，最基礎嗰啲啦咁。And that's it. And then I came to Colombia。 咁跟住就係咁啦，咁我就嚟咗哥倫比亞啦。So and I just started like a month ago。 咁我就1個月之前先至開始正式就係返學啦，有系統咁樣咧去學西班牙文。And to my surprise, I got into like the second level. You know, I got into A2 already. Like just because because of the app, like I finished A1 and then I could immediately enroll in A2 when I arrived here. 咁都幾犀利喎！其實我喺 app 度係讀完咗 A1 啦，咁所以我嚟到就真係咧喺嗰個編班試裡面我係入到 A2 嘅。So right now I am in A2。 咁而家我喺 A2 啦 ，and I just finished all of the past tenses now。 咁就啱啱咧就學晒4個呢度嘅過去式啦。西班牙文有4種過去式 ，yeah there are like 4 different kind of past tense in Spanish and I've learned them all already。 咁我就學晒啦，已經咁樣樣。So right now it's a matter of practice and to really learn to apply it like fluently or seamlessly or just kind of like really get everything into my head and just practice and so that I don't have to stumble on conjugation or which form to use while I speak。 咁所以而家其實就係要點啊？融會貫通整理好呢啲過去式，幾時用邊一種啦，然後要多啲講啦，多啲應用啦，同埋要即係練習到就係唔好一路講一路諗到底呢個係咩式啦，然後點樣要去轉嗰個字嘅尾點樣講啊咁，即係有少少似英文就簡單啲，英文就係he she 要加個 s 嗰啲咧咁樣，或者即係過去式加個 ed 啊咁樣，咁但係佢哋係好複雜嘅，佢哋係唔同嘅第一身、第三身都係有唔同嘅字尾要改嘅咁樣咯，咁然後又唔係全部都係即係 一樣㗎啦，即係有啲就係叫例外啦咁樣，但係有好多例外啦，即係咁樣樣咁，所以it's a very fascinating and complicated language, but it's also like a very interesting and lively language。咁但係即係又好有趣啦，同埋係好有生命力嘅一個語言嚟嘅，我覺得。People told me about like how they felt that like Spanish is rather intuitive, and I'm beginning to feel that as well。咁我有人同我講，我覺得咧西班牙文好易，即係佢覺得好自發嘅，好係即係係憑直覺嚟即係學嘅咁樣樣。咁我而家開始都有呢一種感覺啦咁。And also because of my experiences in learning foreign language now，咁因為都學過唔同嘅外語啦咁 ，so it's actually like much easier for me now to learn at the same time to think in Spanish, like or speak in the foreign language I am learning。咁同埋而家即係有個經驗之後，而家開始好快脆或者即係容易啲咧，一路學埋咧點樣係用翻西班牙文嚟諗嘢啦咁樣樣。So to sort of save time of like translating and also to avoid that sort of like confusion about the understanding of the structure or like the usage or application of certain grammar and simply just how to express ourselves, because like I've seen people struggling by trying to understand everything in English, but then something just couldn't translate, you know, there are things that you can't really translate or equal them with different languages. You just have to learn it as it is。咁但係我諗好多時候就係即係我見到有啲同學佢哋嘅掙扎就係咁啊，佢將所有嘢都一定要咧翻譯翻做英文，用英文嘅方式去理解西班牙文個用法，或者即係佢嗰個應用啊，或者佢點樣幾時用邊一個嘅文法。咁但係其實係冇得咁樣直接翻譯嘅，即係佢有一種嘢，佢可能就算個名同一樣，即係過去式咁樣樣，佢有啲佢個用法始終都係唔一樣，你唔能夠下都係將佢成嚿嘢搬翻落嚟咯咁。So I guess because like my mother tongue is Cantonese， 咁但係我估因為我本身係講廣東話噶嘛 ，so there is nothing similar, you know, like with any other languages I've been learning。咁即係我學其他外語咁，就算之前英文都好啦，咁即係冇嘢係可以完全對等咁樣去轉換噶嘛。咁所以我就會容易啲明白，即係點解其實係你學一個新嘅語言，其實你就係要即刻學埋用嗰個語言去諗嘢咁樣樣咯。It's also thanks to my secondary school teacher in Form 2, like she told us not to, when we learn like vocabulary, for example, like think of a visual image instead of a translation of the word。咁我同埋即係我都多謝我中意嗰個班主任教我英文嘅時候，佢就同我哋講，佢話你唔好學一個即係你唔好學英文嘅時候，你喺度諗翻譯，即係你唔好學。Apple 你就諗蘋果，你要諗蘋果嗰個樣，你要諗個相或者你個圖像，你要諗嗰件嘢，你就唔好將佢變做中文咁樣樣。And I find it really really helpful。咁我覺得超級幫到我咯咁。So anyway, like it's already like in the middle of the week, and tomorrow after school we'll go to do some voluntary work and like as a part of like a Christmas kind of thing, you know, like, and we go to this place. I'm not sure if it's like a home or a school or like an orphanage. I'll know more tomorrow, but we'll be going to play with kids and give them gifts and everything。咁我哋聽日就會放咗學之後一齊去做義工啦，咁就會去我都唔肯定係學校啊，定係孤兒院啦，定係即係兒童宿舍之類嘅嘢。咁就係總之其實就會同一班小朋友去玩啊，即係社區中心咁樣，然後就即係派禮物啦，即係屬於啲聖誕聯歡咁樣嘅嘢咯咁。Christmas here is a huge thing。咁聖誕喺呢一度係好大件事嘅，即係大家好大事情，好重視啊，好大事慶祝啊咁樣樣咯。And one of the very famous thing for Medellin， 咁呢個城市其中一個最出名嘅咧，it's the lights of of the Christmas， 咁就係呢度啲燈飾啦咁。So I intend to go and check it out tomorrow。咁我聽日應該做完義工可能都會想去睇下啦咁樣樣。And it's especially nice now because like I know how to get back to my place here by taxi, even by bus, so I feel more confident and safe to go out later。咁所以因為我今日已經學識埋搭巴士啦，咁我就知道點樣搭的士翻嚟啦，咁所以我就覺得即係就算出一次夜間我都覺得安全啦，即係我開始覺得都即係熟悉呢度咁樣樣咯。So anyway, this is it for today。咁今日就嚟到呢度啦，聽日再見，see you again tomorrow，bye。